Here we are with part 2 of the Moonee Valley preview, and of course we've recorded a preview for races 1 to 5 for Racing Rent subscribers. Obviously, if you want to be part of the Melbourne Pro Punter service, you need to click on the eye in the top right-hand corner there and get your 2 weeks for free for Roy's service, which is pretty detailed. Obviously, you get a set for Saturday and some commentary through Saturday, obviously keeping an eye on how the track's playing, and which is quite timely, and watching what is happening with the markets. So as I say, click on the eye there. If you are already a Racing Rent subscriber, remember you will get a $7 weekly discount. And as I say, if you've not tried the service before, you get the first 2 weeks for free. So we're here to look at the Quaddie legs for Moonee Valley. The rail's gone out 5 this meeting after being in the true position 2 weeks ago, and the track appears to be a bit drier than it was a fortnight ago. We had a bit of a discussion in part 1 that related to the track condition 2 weeks ago. So race 6 it looks like a common or garden race to me, this benchmark 84 over the mile, and the market's sort of pretty much the same. There's Shoeless won the lead up 2 weeks ago, it's $7, but Dragoon and Reset the Jazz look to get forward in the race. They're $6 and $6.50 respectively. So it's a fairly opaque race. I've got the Creator perhaps kicking up from gate 1. How do you have them running, Roy?
Yeah, it's pretty quiet up front here, isn't it? Just the 2 leaders, Dragoon and Reset the Jazz. Perhaps the Creator might box seat from barrier 1.
Yes.
And maybe Rolling Magic might try and 1-1.
Yes, also an acceptor for Sydney, but I presume looking for something like this down there.
Looking for dry, probably, yeah.
Yeah. So the Reset the Jazz got mowed down by Shoeless. Far Flung obviously started a short price in that race and meets them better again, but hardly ever wins, Far Flung. In fact, it might be 2 years since it's won a race. What are you suggesting is the starting point here, Roy?
Oh, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I mean, it looks very hard to beat this number 5 Dragoon. Won well at the midweeks. Barrier 3 should go to the front, the apprentice on. Look, I can't imagine Zara would be too intent on taking on for the lead or on Reset the Jazz, but he may have a try. And that kind of, it kind of looks the race here. I think the only other horse you could entertain would be Rolling Magic, gone to Melbourne looking for a dry track. Sydney form's good, and it's a bit of a price, so I think it's probably the next one in line.
Yeah, there's plenty of uncompetitive horses here, isn't there? I mean,
a lot of these going to get back. I understand Shoeless was a good win at Moonee Valley 2 weeks ago, but it's gone from inside draw to the widest horse, barrier 11. There's a couple of other horses you can mention, but I think certainly Dragoon is the starting point. Reset the Jazz and Rolling Magic probably, they certainly look like dangers, and that's kind of the story. I think the only other horse that's in a good position here is the Creator. It may want it a bit wetter.
But it's had issues over the last 12 months, hasn't it? Issues, since winning at Canterbury off the Warrnambool win. Kev, what's your view on this mile race here?
Fairly similar.
Before we cross to Kev, I thought I might just get him to repeat what he was talking about as far as the track 2 weeks ago at Moonee Valley for the
okay. Yeah, so reiterate, Kev,
quite timely.
Yeah, the track at Moonee Valley 2 weeks ago, there is a section from the 700 to the 300 that does not get sun because of the position of the stand at this time of the year. So from anywhere leading up to the 700 and from the 300 to the finishing post, the track was a soft 5. But from the 700 to the 300, where a lot of horses are starting to build momentum, it was a soft 7. So they gave the track out as a soft 6. So that's why horses that were coming from behind and trying to make ground at that point from the 700 to the 300, weren't making any ground, and it became a bit leaderish because horses up on speed then hit the better going, moving and in front. So that was the way it played 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, which was a shame because on a true rail, you're generally looking for opportunities for horses that they were clearly denied because of the track condition. Whereas we step out to the 5 metre position, and that's generally the nature of that. Once you stick the rail out at Moonee Valley, it is harder to come from behind. Anyway, so we've just described a scenario where there's not a lot of speed on in this mile race, and a number of runners would have been looking for some action up front so that they could sit back. Kev, how are you playing this race?
Oh, fairly similar to Roy. Dragoon, as I said, up in distance, down in weight. The Reset the Jazz, such a tough run the other day. It's probably going to sit outside it, and those two. And yes, the Creator will be on the speed, but I'd like to see it do something in this class before I'd be tipping it. The one that was very unlucky the other day was Pudding. He was back on the inside trying to get a run and got squeezed up a couple of times, and didn't really get a fair crack at them. So he was the one that I thought possibly could improve, but based off the fact it was unlucky last start, I'm happy to.
Yeah, well, look, it's likely to use its draw here, Pudding. It's been around and around and around and around, but I mean, it does find a scenario where if it just sort of punches up from 2 there, it actually gets gets its chance.
So I thought Dragoon, Reset the Jazz, and a watch on Pudding was sort of my summary of it.
Yeah, no one's mentioned the stayer resuming, Mr. Monaco. Roy, did you have a view on Mr. Monaco?
I thought it was very outpaced in the trials, is what I wrote.
Okay, so just
Got
having
one,
a pipe opener.
yeah, and he's got one in later which defied that, so I'm more interested in it later, as
Okay.
far as an overseas male horse goes.
Right, the feature is race 7, and the winner from last year, Mornington Glory, lines up against the horse that ran second in this race last year, Golden Boom. Of course, since then, Oak Hill has won the lead up as Mornington Glory did last year, and loses B Shin but gets M Zara this time, $2.60, and Barraquil, which has had a lot of speculation about it over the last month or so, finally turns up here back at 1,000 at $5. Midwest seemed to have things go his way 2 weeks ago and looked very plain, but anyway, he's set to take it up again from Golden Boom. Tiger Shark was ridden off the speed from a low draw the other day. It's drawn wide. I wonder if it'll have a pop. And of course, Doe and Don't Hope Do led and won here a fortnight ago. Perhaps not as fast as Midwest and Co. Roy, what are you looking at here?
Yeah, look, I think probably Midwest, Golden Boom, and Don't Hope to some degree will probably be, trying to push up and challenge those other two for the lead. I don't think that they'll probably make the mistake this time of allowing Midwest to sort of just cruise in front. I think they'll probably take advantage of the rail being out and run along. I don't know why they did that day. Perhaps maybe the 49 days they were a little bit, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, they certainly didn't want to run along in front on it, which was odd for it. But anyway, I think this time it probably will. So that's the speed. Fascinating story, Barraquil, isn't it? Was due to run late July, got vetted by the RV vets, and they said no. And the trainer was sort of saying that, my vet says it's fine. That's just the horse. Anyway, it's had a great jump out since. It's now had 3 jump outs.
Right. So where are we at with the horse? What do you suggest? Where does the narrative
I don't know. I mean, it's had multiple issues. I think it had a tendon maybe a suspensory tendon issue before this long sort of 9-month spell. So yeah, fascinating horse. It's going to get the right run here, just behind the lead, maybe sort of or at worst midfield. I think the point to make with Oak Hill is it's very short in the market, and it got in a race the other day, which, where there was only 5 runners. They walked. He was able to get up around and into the fray very quickly on the turn shin. And now, with the 9 runners, it might be last. Again, it's got to pass 8 with the rail out at the Valley. It just doesn't look a price you can take.
Mm.
Look, I understand that it was, very, very impressive and all that sort of thing, but I just don't know if it's going to be as easy as it was that day. I certainly couldn't turn around and back, the others like Midwest and Mornington Glory to beat it, or Tiger Shark for that matter. But I just don't know if it's going to be the cakewalk that it got that day. So that sort of led me towards Barraquil. As I said, it's a bit unknown. I don't think anyone knows how it's going to sort of go, but it's definitely got the best performance, in best form in this race. It has been tried at Group 1 level and got beaten 2.2 lengths. Beat home Giga Kick that day and overpass.
Yeah.
And that day, Moonee Valley, it was outstanding. So I was kind of led to it, and perhaps maybe I'm disappointed with the riding change, but certainly New York Luster, I think, is going well in 1,000-metre suits. But it's a tricky race. Certainly couldn't tip anyone Oak Hill at that price.
Yeah, and okay, so Barraquil, there's a few questions, some of which you've addressed. But Barrier 1, what are we saying about that?
I think it's a race where they're going to string out a bit here. I think probably Midwest. How can Midwest beat Oak Hill if they try what they did?
Yeah, he's just going to put the foot down, doesn't he? Yeah.
And you've got the Queenslander Golden Boom. It likes to run along. It's in 7, so they'll probably run along. I mean, Don't Hope Do probably won't get near them, but it did lead all the way at the Valley. It's in 9, so I think they'll string out a bit here. So yeah, look, it's a tricky race. It's not cut and dry Oak Hill for mine, but I'm happy to hear other thoughts here.
Yeah, well, look, the narrative that you put out around the favourite is interesting because there will be many that will just look at it and go, well, Oak Hill picked them up in a stride the other day. Here it is, and there's even more pressure up front, but it is a different race. Kev, are you with the favourite? Are you looking at Barraquil, or are you looking elsewhere?
Oh, look, I'm fairly similar to Roy. I expect Golden Boom to really attack Midwest. Just the way that's the way they've been riding it. And Barraquil's going to sit in the right spot. So drawn Barrier 1, it's going to sit behind those 2 or 3 leaders and be in the right spot. And you'd have to think going harder in a race has got to help Oak Hill, doesn't it? I know the 9-horse field means it might have a few extra horses to pass, but the fact that they didn't go that fast the other day and it still picked them up, and now it's coming into a race where there's going to be a lot of speed. If the track's playing leaderish, I want to back Barraquil. If they're making ground from behind, I want to back Oak Hill. So I'm sort of going to be checking out the track, but that's the way I've looked at it. If it's an even track and you can make ground, I like Oak Hill.
Okay, the penultimate is 1523. That's exciting, isn't it? We have another wide race. So Globe is resuming here and resuming off a resuming failure with another reorganisation of the plates. I think the bar plate's off this time, but there's Equilox on. So its favourite is ahead of Running By and Run Harry Run. They're both at 650, and Greenfly and Hard to Cross, which is down at the weights, carrying 51 here, is $7. So Globe is your, designated leader. Run Harry Run is up in distance with the blinkers back on. Running By has some speed as well, but what are you expecting, Roy?
Yeah, I think you've nailed it again. Run Harry Run. It's got Barrier 2, probably kick up and lead. Globe will probably come across, sit outside or something. They're the 2 natural leaders in the race. I guess as far as speed goes, it may depend on just how fired up Run Harry Run is. Very sort of keen bean, I guess you could say, the horse. Sometimes can run along quite a bit, but yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, I think, obviously the horses just behind would be Hard to Cross and Running By. Um,
So
maybe,
Run Harry Run with the
maybe
blinkers
Dead
back
Angel.
on. Back on. He's there in two. He's thinking, well, I don't want to fire this horse up,
Yeah,
and
especially
I
going up
don't
against
need to fire this horse up, do I? So I just come out neutrally from two. What's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to end up in the box seat.
yeah, and also going up in distance, it's never really proven itself beyond 14. So I actually think it's kind of struggling a bit now. It's sort of it looked good early in the prep, and now it's getting a bit late in the prep, and so yeah, I don't know what to make of it, but it can get a bit fired up, I guess is the point I was making.
Yep.
What do you make of those gear changes with Globe, Kev and Mark? It's had plenty of
It's
problems in its
it's
career,
been a
hasn't it?
horse with long stories attached to it.
Yeah,
Turned up at its fourth start in a in the feature there on this track, the Group 2 Weight for Age race. That was 2 years ago, and since then it's been around and about.
yeah.
Kev, do you have any intel here about Globe?
Oh no, I like Glow, but I don't necessarily like it tomorrow. I like it as a horse. I had a good win on it when it won the 1600 metre race. It was one of those country cup things
Yeah,
they did on a
Cranbourne
Saturday.
Cup, probably.
Cranbourne Cup. Yep, and I had a good win on it that day. It was 12s into fives or something.
Mm.
But its first up record's not great. Um,
Yeah, well, the
uh,
leaders, they're not really. They tend not to be first up horses.
I thought Running By and Hard to Cross were the two that I had on top. I thought they were both going to get into nice positions. Hard to Cross just dropping down in weight by 52 kilos, or 51 kilos. I think, I'm happy to be backing it. And, Running By I've had some success with as well. And it does probably look like it's going to get the suck run. So
Yeah,
I
she,
sort of
she
thought,
really needs it like quite dry, doesn't she, running
yeah,
by?
she does.
And is generally scratched if that's not the case.
So I had those two on top, but yeah, it's not a race that I'm excited about.
So Kev, sorry, yeah, Roy, with Kev can't necessarily shed any light on the situation with Globe regarding
Yeah.
its feet, but
First trial was good. Second trial was a bit plain, whatever that means. Yeah, look, I don't, it's a horse with issues. Um, Very hard race. I'd probably be working around horses like Running By. Maybe might be my top pick in the end. Just getting the perfect run. Um, I respect Globe. I respect Hard to Cross. It's going to get a nice run. Um, I'm a bit sick of Run Harry Run. I don't know about the extra 100 meters.
so what
This
about
number
say,
11, Go
yeah, go
Daddy.
on, yeah.
This number 11, Go Daddy. I mean, you'd look at its form and you think, well, first up 1500, probably no, but there was something there in the jump out late. There was something nice about it. Um, he's got some overseas horses this year, Mar. It seems like
Oh.
every week you seem to be there's overseas stayer he's getting. But certainly it just did something there in that jump out that made me think that there might be something there. And we are talking about, some pretty average horses here, aren't we? Um,
Hmm.
so yeah,
Well, hard to cross is such an interesting runner because it's been it's found its way down to the base of the handicap there, but I think its last 5 wins are on the hillside. So and that form from the Two Dar Discreet race looks well,
just
hard,
for
yeah. But obviously it's pretty well placed here. So it sounds like you're going to reserve your judgment at this stage, Roy.
certainly a little bit, yeah, intrigued by this GoDaddy for a spec. But if you force me to give a top pick, I'd probably say Running By, but not a
Yep.
race where I'm overly confident in. Like I said, I respect Globe, I respect the bottom one, Hard to Cross. I'm looking for somewhere to go, but not really finding it.
Yeah, it
Just yeah,
doesn't present that easily, does it? The race. Let's find something harder. Well, perhaps the nightcap at Moonee Valley is the 1200-metre race, and Extra 2 won this race last year. She turns up here off a spell. Stolly Bolly, which was set too big a task at the 1,000, fresh up there for B Shin, is second up here and as short as $3.10. De Bergerac for Graham Begg is the next pick in the betting. Red Hot Nick obviously led all the way in this grade 2 weeks ago, so it'll be hurtling forward there from 5. Rakoki perhaps holds its spot there in 1. Tylus needs 4 scratchings to get into the race, so whilst it's got speed, it may not be there. So, well, what are you suggesting about this map, Roy?
I think I'm interested to see if 16 Tylus gets a run because it's a natural leader. So that's my first sort of point to the viewers is, if the fourth emergency gets a run, probably unlikely, but if it does get a run, it is a speed horse. The map looks pretty clear, though. Realistically, it's just the top one, Red Hot Nick, and I think you'll find this number 10, Pivotal 10 from New Zealand, will sit outside.
Yes, of course. South Island horse that made its way into the slot race off some demolition jobs down in the South Island. So I guess she's been jumping out. I haven't paid any attention to that. Is there a story to tell there, Roy?
Yeah, the jump outs were fine. It didn't get asked to do a lot. I think one of them from memory was behind Mr. Brightside, ran second Mr. Brightside from memory. I thought they were okay. I'm very interested in the horse. I watched those New Zealand wins, and it's a Moonee Valley horse. There's no doubt about it. It can run, this horse. Fast early, fast late in a couple of those wins there in the South Island. And it didn't just win, it panelled them a couple of times. When I watched the jump outs, I thought to myself, Hayes are trying to sort of get it to calm down a bit. And it seems like they have been able to do that a bit. There was none of that running out and sort of, screeching away in front. Look, to sum the race up, I mean, Stolly Bolly, it was a great run first up, but she's just going to get back again here with the big field and have to try and loop them at Moonee Valley with a rail out. So
yeah, it seems problematic.
It's a very short price. So, I respect it, but, I can't take the 280. The horses to highlight, obviously, I'm very, very interested in this Kiwi Pivotal 10. And Red Hot Nick did a great job leading all the way. It's going to go straight to the front here. And it seems a good price, $13. The market's just said no to it pretty much off the win the other day. So they're probably the two that sort of appeal. As far as the others go, look, there's a couple of other bits and pieces. I wasn't interested in De Bergerac. I thought he might get caught in a bit of a tricky spot.
Keep your cool back in distance.
Gets another chance, I think. If he gets to run the second emergency, like it was a great win first up, and then second up, it all just went wrong. So I was a little bit interested in it. And I don't know what to make of number 8, Cristilia. It has won a jump out. But it's first run for Hayes for a long spell. Look, if it can produce some of that old form with some very good names in there, it's in the race at a big price. But look, Red Hot Nick and Pivotal 10 will probably go to the front here, and they could take some catching at good prices, 13 and 9.50 at the moment.
All right, that's the Thursday view from Roy. Take us home here, Kev.
Well, I had Pivotal 10 with 3 question marks on my page. In other words, I've obviously looked at it and not sure what to make of it. So I'm happy with the fact that Roy's pretty impressed with it and seems to like it a bit. So that's good.
Okay.
I would have really liked a Bergerac if it had been at Flemington because I don't like Stolly Bolly much. And if Pivotal 10's not ready, then the only horse under $11 is De Bergerac, who, being a beg horse, well, we know it's going to be consistent. Once they find form, they hold form. So
what's your narrative against Stolly Bolly, Kev?
I just thought she's under the odds, just completely under the odds, and ran all right the other day behind Don't Hope Do. And she'd have to drastically improve over the 1200 to be a chance. The one thing she has got in her favour is she's actually won at the track. But where's she going to get from barrier 9?
Yeah, look, I think 7 to 2 is probably the right starting point for Stolly Bolly. If that's as short as I think you could start. All right, so I
like De Bergerac. I'm happy to have something on Pivotal 10, and I thought the best outside in the race might be Eye of the Fire from the Neesham stable. But I was just worried about the fact it drew barrier 14. If it had drawn a better barrier, I would have been sort of all over it each way. So I'm still going to put it in for third.
Well, there is perhaps a bit of an opportunity to go forward and race outside Red Hot Nick, depending on how Pivotal 10 is presented, because as Roy said, there's the suggestion that they may be happy to hand up to something pressing on out wide to go outside lead. That is look at the quaddie legs at Moonee Valley. If you want to watch, and you should want to watch the preview of races 1 to 5, then you need to be a subscriber. So jump on board there, click the eye in the top right-hand corner, and you will find your way into the channel where part 1 will be living. Meanwhile, we're all waiting with bated breath for Saturday, because Moonee Valley is going to be the comfy place, given that Randwick is going to be an ocean. Nonetheless, Kev, myself, and Glenn will be previewing Randwick tomorrow. So for 4 members, there'll be a preview of Randwick. But as I say, Moonee Valley is, it's what you see is what you get, shall we say. And you need to be a part of Roy's Melbourne Pro Punter channel to get his assessments and updates in there. So thanks, Kev. Thanks, Roy. Good luck on Saturday. And
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Kev. Yeah, good luck, and hopefully we can find a couple of winners.
Sounds good. See ya.